Is there such thing as foods that help you burn body fat or fat burning foods for basketball players? Find out in today's video. This has to be one of the most commonly asked questions in my DMs. So as always, if I commonly get asked a question all the time, I'm gonna make a video on it. And today we're talking about fat burning foods, or the idea that specific foods are gonna help you get lean. And I'm sorry to report that idea that certain foods are gonna burn body fat is really just a myth. When it comes to fat loss, there are two major principles that we need to look at, and we'll discuss them in today's video. But I really need you to understand, there are no fat burning foods. No one or two foods is going to make or break your progress in terms of getting lean, or in terms of muscle growth for that matter. The same exact thing applies. The two principles we're gonna look at are energy balance and calorie intake, along with your macronutrient intake. Those two levers are gonna be the biggest things that we can influence that are actually going to drive your progress. Of course, food quality matters, but the idea that eat kale and you're gonna burn more body fat, eat this and you're gonna burn more body fat, just simply doesn't exist. What does impact body fat is energy balance, so calories in versus calories out. And the driving principle of fat loss, whether you're a basketball player or whether you're a soccer mom in your 40s, is being in a calorie deficit. To lose body fat the most effective way, you must be in a calorie deficit. You must be eating less calories than you burn, because that way your body has to tap into stored energy sources, aka fat, to burn for energy, and therefore you lose body fat. And that is the single most important factor. If you disregard every other factor of nutrition and just focus on getting into a calorie deficit, you're gonna lose weight. Obviously, as a basketball player, losing weight isn't really the primary goal. Losing body fat is, and losing body fat while maintaining performance is the gold standard. So we don't just wanna worry about calorie balance, but as a starting point, that is the fundamental driving principle of any sort of fat loss goal. Now, the second lever we can influence and kind of play with to influence the fat loss process are your macronutrients, or macros for short. Macros are the building blocks of food where your calories come from. So there's three of them: there's proteins, carbs, and fats. I've discussed them on the channel before, and each of them have different properties. So during a fat loss phase, we can play with your macronutrient intake and different ratios of macronutrients, help maintain performance during a fat loss phase, help maintain muscle mass, if not gain a little bit of muscle mass during a fat loss phase, and just keep you as healthy as possible during the fat loss phase. And not to mention fight off some cravings and just help the entire process go as smoothly as possible. Nowhere in there did I mention eating a specific type of food or taking this specific detox powder or whatever the hell they try to sell you as a way to burn body fat. Those two principles are the number one and two things that you want to focus on. Calorie balance being first, macronutrient intake being second. And of course, like I said, food quality matters. You don't want to just fill your macros and calorie intake with Pop-Tarts and fast food. That's not going to be very conducive to keeping you satiated and fighting off cravings, and in terms of just keeping you healthy and feeling good and managing inflammation and all that stuff. So overall, most of your diet should come from whole, unprocessed foods like lean protein sources, fruits, veggies, whole grains, nuts, nut butters, healthy oils, things like that. But there's no one specific type of olive oil or one specific type of grass-fed beef that's gonna drastically impact your progress. It's an overarching result of the principles that we talked about in terms of energy balance, macronutrient intake, and obviously making sure those calories come from pretty decent quality foods most of the time. That is gonna drive your fat loss process. That is gonna make you lose body fat, get lean, and get the result that you want. Let me know if you understand that. Comment understood down below in the comments, because I really wanna make sure that you understand this concept and don't fall prey to any of the marketing tactics that you see promoting certain supplements or certain superfoods or stuff like that. I really need you to understand this idea. And also, if you wanna learn how to lose body fat without losing a bunch of muscle mass, I actually made an entire video about that as well here on the channel, so I'll link that here on the screen right now. And don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in that next video.